Hey, hello, my name is Bill, and today I want to put a twist on a great Irish classic, shepherd's pie. I know traditionally it calls for lamb, but that would be leftover. Like you'd have a lamb shank that you would have roasted and you cut the meat off, and that takes a little kind of prep ahead. So instead, what I did was I've got a pound of eye round that I cut up into small cubes after I'd totally cut all the fat off, and I dusted it in flour. You want to shake off any excess flour, and I got a pan here. It's pretty hot with about 2-3 tablespoons of olive oil. I'm going to put the meat in. We're going to get it browned real quick. Shouldn't take long at all because these are really small bite size. I like keeping it bite size so that it's not all chewy meat. This is a very low fat type of meat. There's not a lot of fat grain in it, so because you don't want to make it all greasy, the dish all greasy, so I want absolutely no extra fat in here. So let's get started. My pot's nice and toasty. Just gonna throw this in here. Then searing a little bit. So it won't take long at all to get this all nice and cooked up. Try to get nice single layers. So shepherd's pie, you know, it's like I said, it's kind of always traditionally been a leftover thing. Didn't know anything better to make for St. Patty's Day, which is coming right up. So I just figured this would probably be about the best, nicest thing I could do. And like I said, this is pretty toasty here. I want to make sure I figure out a way to do it easy. One pan, it's always my goal. Alright. It's getting pretty brown here. It's already smelling great. It's cooking. I'm going to put a little fresh ground black pepper on here. I always think you got to have a little black pepper, fresh ground, any kind of meat you use. This is cooking real fast. Beautiful. Just want to give it just a little color. Alright, got that done. So now I've got 2 tablespoons of butter I want to throw in here so we can cook our veggies. Give that a chance to melt a little bit. I like the butter for flavor when you're cooking the vegetables. Olive oil works great for the meat. So it's just a little nice and crusty. Alright, so I've got a cup of yellow onion. I have half a cup of finely chopped carrot and celery, half a cup of celery. Just want to cook it till the veggies get a little soft in here. take long at all. I was really surprised. I went to my butcher and he had a bunch of eye-round roast, and I said, you know, I really only need a pound. More than happy to cut off a pound for me. He'll do just about anything I want. That's why it's really nice to have a store that's not a real big, you know, chain grocery store, so that they do a little more personalized service. Okay, edges are softened up. So what I'm going to do, I've got about a quarter of a cup of fresh chopped Italian parsley, straight out of the garden, cut this morning in a bitter cold. So even though you had flour on the meat, it's not a whole lot of flour because we shook all the excess off. You want to look if you have any liquid in here. We're going to dust just a little on top and mix it in, up to 2 tablespoons. I'm going to put probably about a tablespoon in here. Gotta try. Just want to make sure the pan's nice and dry. Of course, now that I've added some flour, I want to cook it for a minute more just to cook the flour. Now we move on. I need a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. I need 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. Mix that in. Once again, I got my flour here. If things are looking wet, go ahead and toss a little more in. I think my mom actually made this once when I was a kid with manwich. It'll be a little more authentic, even though I use beef. Okay, excellent. So now we need to make the juice. So I have a cup and a half of chicken stock with half a cup of white wine. It's all going to bake, so I'm not really worried about putting it together slowly. Just get all mixed up here. It's looking pretty good. And stay nice and thick, so I know I've done it right. Last bit goes in. Smell that wine, everything looks nice and pretty. Once we get that back up to a nice simmer, I have half a cup of corn, yellow corn kernels I'm dumping in. So I looked as best I could. A lot of people think they're green beans in shepherd's pie because that's probably the way their moms or grandmas made it, but when I looked at the real recipes it didn't say that, so I'm sticking with the corn. So basically, got everything in here, got a nice little simmer going on. So I want to simmer it for 10 minutes, and guess what? We'll be back to see how we're going to put this all together. Alright, it's been 10 minutes. We got some nice looking shepherd's pie. The only thing is, shepherd's pie has to have that topping, mashed potatoes. So I have some mashed potatoes that I made, and normally I get out my pastry bag and pipe it on real pretty, but then it might taste like vanilla because all I do in my pastry bag is icing. So instead, all I'm going to do is I'm going to take a storage bag. I'm just going to cut the corner out, and you want to want it pretty big. You can always control it with your hand. Move the potato down to the edge. Oops. And look at this. Just gonna go right around. If you want to use a piping bag, be my guest. Make it nice and pretty. But the heat's going to cook it down a little bit, so I'm cooking it at its finest. And the kids will think that's really cool. So every kid loves mashed potatoes. Alright, so I got 2 cups of mashed potatoes piped down. Got my hand in it. That's okay. Now what I'm going to do is I need about half a cup, 3/4 cup of grated cheese. Throw on top. In the oven it's going to go for half an hour, and we'll see what it looks like. Alright, so we'll be back in half an hour. Here we are back again. It's been half an hour. I let it cool a couple minutes because it was really bubbly. Everything's looking really pretty. First, it helps that it's in this old Pyrex ancient bowl or baking dish. So I'm just going to get some of the mashed potato and some of the good stuff. A little more. I wish we had smell-o-vision. This really smells good. This is really simple. This is just a really nice shepherd's pie. Tastes great. You could enjoy this with a inexpensive Bordeaux or any other red wine, just because of the flavoring and the meat and the tomatoes. But I think this is an absolutely great meal to make anytime you want. So enjoy. Keep watching me. subscribe, comment, like, anything you want, but please enjoy my food. Thank you.